welcome all 81 of you attendees currently logging in. Welcome to the 2020 Juvare Client Awards program. I am your host, Brad Pond. I'll be joined by our amazing client success managers and leadership team this afternoon as we recognize great achievements in emergency preparedness and response. We hope you've had an amazing day here. I know I have, plugging into all of the different panels. It's been great to see so many faces. But we are ready to recognize the hard work of the past year. And this afternoon's format is pretty simple. I'll be providing many pre-approved and scripted jokes, drinking bourbon when the camera is not on me, and letting the CSMs and winners have the spotlight. No band, Garrett, there will be no Darth Vader costume, no lobster hats or ridiculous tuxedos of any kind, with the exception of Max. And management has asked me to refrain from any 9-iron shots into the crowd, any cameras, or absolutely no dancing to any James Brown songs or the Ohio Players. But if you were there, you know that that was epic. So let's get on with the show. Our first award is the 2020 Exceptional Response Award, an award that every one of you were in the running for this year. If you made it to this point in the game, you've received second place finish and can move on to the Lava and Sharknado round. That'll be coming up in November. In all seriousness, though, 2020 has been monumental. It's been an unrelenting cascade of more storms, more fires, protests, and of course, COVID-19. This year will no doubt leave a mark on our industry for years to come, but these battle-tested professionals left their own positive marks on the year that was 2020. And here are the client success managers, the director of client success for all of the East, my partner in crime, Mike Resto, and Priscilla Cotton, the client success manager for state and local for higher ed for FEMA regions 9 and 10, to present the awards for exceptional response. Mike?
Thank you, Brad. Our first exceptional response award tonight goes to an organization and a WebUC administrator that I've worked extremely closely with for a few years now. Is extremely deserving of this award here tonight. Since the beginning of the year, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Informal. All right, I'm freezing up a little bit. My internet can only last so long. I apologize. But you know, since the beginning of the year, Colby has managed Florida's instance of WebUC, not only to respond to COVID, but as well as multiple hurricanes that have and storms that have approached and you know, threatened and impacted the state of Florida. As if that's not enough, he's also been instrumental in helping the thousands of users that rely on Florida's WebUC system, and been critical in assisting the dozens of other Florida clients, the counties that use WebUC as well. So with that, you know, please join me in congratulating the state of Florida and Colby Maxwell.
Yay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. And to present another award for exceptional response, here is Client Success Manager Priscilla Cotton. Priscilla?
Good afternoon, everyone. For an exceptional response, in November of 2019, this city started a dedicated services engagement with Juvare. This gave the city the chance to plan out projects for the next 12 months and gave them the opportunity to prioritize their system enhancements and changes. As we approached the end of February 2020 with a solidified plan for the next 12 months, March brought on a hard stop on that planning due to the pandemic. With the flexibility of dedicated services, though, the city was able to quickly pivot and change their priorities to focus on subsequent on-the-fly changes to their current processes to respond to COVID-19, as well as other multiple unplanned events such as marches, demonstrations, and protests. As the COVID-19 response evolved, the city was able to quickly create processes to engage new stakeholders, implement additional statuses and metrics, and introduce necessary data tracking. One of the key processes I want to highlight is their quick reaction to create a new process for social services requests, mirroring their current resource request process. Other quick reaction stand-ups and on-the-fly edits included processes such as donations management, community agency assistance, schedules, schools, and event reporting. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating the City of Beverly Hills, California for an exceptional response in 2020.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank you.
Next up is the 2020 Best Client-Led Users Group Award. There are, of course, many user groups amongst you and across many different industries. But for this award, there can be only one. To present this award, I'm going to turn it back over to Director of Client Success, Mr. Mike Resto.
Thank you, Brad. I'll be honest, we talked about this one, and this year it was pretty easy. All I had to do was look at my inbox about 4 times a day, and we really found the answer to who is deserving of this. With international membership into the hundreds, an active listserv that many of even Juvare staff learn from, a day doesn't go by without this group sharing best practices, troubleshooting, and now even a monthly newsletter. So with that, let's congratulate the WebEOC admin group and Graham Jessamine. Well deserved.
Yeah, Graham.
Go, man.
Graham.
All right. Next up are the 2020 Best Daily Usage of a Juvare Solution. Our solutions, of course, are used around the globe 24/7, 365. And here to tell you about the absolute best daily use scenario is Mr. Max Wibbich to present this award.
Thank you, Brad. So I think reflecting on the past 7 or 8 months, which feels like the past 3 years, we could probably give this out many more than just one time, which to Brad's point, it's probably one of the harder ones to pick. But I'm certain that if we would have tried, back in March or April or whenever we were actually going to all meet in person to give this out, we might have come to a different conclusion. But that's only because we didn't realize what was already happening in our client base with this particular agency award. So back in the spring, we just hadn't dawned on us quite yet that the commitment that this agency had already begun to put in motion. It's something that we've known they've been doing for years, or other parts of this organization they've been doing for years. But looking back, it's not something that was immediately obvious, knowing that what was going on in the Midwest then and now. This Great Lakes state might be kind of dealing with or still committing to the daily use of Juvare's platform in such a deep and pretty tremendous way at that point. So in kind of recollection of both their historical commitment to using Juvare platform on a daily basis, the EM suite specifically, whether it's EM Track for patient transports, whether it's EICS with their providers for incident management at the hospitals across the state, or really what it amounts to above all, EM Resource in this instance, for really an overwhelming commitment to, I can't say it any way other than like fastidiously capturing every piece of possible data on long-term care facilities and hospitals all the way across the great state of Michigan. We're really tremendously pleased to present this award to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. So congratulations, Michigan.
Awesome, man. That is awesome.
Before we move on, you did promise to answer live where you got that jacket.
It was, I got it on clearance after New Year's.
Okay, you don't want to give up the store. You don't want anyone else to.
Oh, it was like Macy's or something like that. It was like $15. So I can't pass up a deal.
That's awesome. I thought
you overpaid.
It fits. It fits.
You look like Wayne Newton, man.
I'm still wearing pajamas. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
His red carpet look.
It's the red carpet look. Absolutely. David Gassaway asked where my purple blazer was, and we got rid of it. We took it to the Salvation Army and made good use of that purple suit. All right, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, and Mike, if you see some more good questions in there, man, definitely calls us. Next up are the 2020 Helping Hands Awards. These awards are presented for being a stakeholder that makes the Juvare community stronger by sharing insights and use cases from Juvare applications. The first award will be presented by Juvare's clinical analyst, Elaine Schweitzer. Elaine?
Hey, Brad, thank you so much. So this evening, I could not be more thrilled to recognize Levi Clausen, our Idaho administrator who provides leadership and direction to the state's public health preparedness and response program. Throughout Levi's storied tenure, he has really never been one to shy away from identifying ways our solutions could better meet his and his stakeholders' needs. Sometimes the universe aligns in a really fun, interesting way, and just by chance, next week we're actually deploying an enhancement, an EM resource enhancement that was first identified by Levi at one of our conferences, calculated status types. Levi, I'm sure if your EM resource peers were not muted, they would be cheering for you right now. Very exciting enhancement that you had identified. So for the past few years, Levi has definitely managed a very nice sized statewide EM resource region, supporting situational awareness, availability, capacity reporting, service limitations reporting. And then, of course, came year 2020 and March, and now COVID, requiring these vast data collections, standing up APIs, huge amount of communication needs, forcing Levi and the rest of Idaho, the rest of our administrators across the country really to veer from steady state solution usage to, deep dive, ramped up on steroids solution usage. But here are some really cool stats. In the first couple of months, Levi's user count, EM resource user count, almost tripled from 494 to 1,430. He went from 111 reporting entities, mostly hospitals, to 1,078 reporting entities. He ramped this up in just a couple of months. So including long-term care facilities, EMS providers, specialty facilities. He also went from 182 potential data points, data fields to be collected to 429. So just incredible ramped up usage and response to, to the situation. Throughout all of this, Levi has continued to share his insights and use cases, help us help him and the rest of our user community, and really enabling us to better meet all of our clients' needs. He has also been one of our go-to admins to whom we have referred on numerous occasions, peers seeking advice who found themselves in situations that they had not yet encountered, and he's always graciously contacted his peers and offered that advice. Anyway, Levi, I want to thank you for your engagement, advocacy, guidance, and most of all, your friendship. So, thank you.
Good job, Levi.
All right, Levi, Idaho.
All right. Hey, let's send it over to our next presenter, Sophie John, Manager for Client Services, with another great story of community service.
Thanks, Brad. So hello, everyone. So in our role as client success managers, we rely pretty heavily on our clients to not only use our solutions, but to also provide feedback to make us better. And many of the enhancements that we make to our products comes from people just like you who are on the front lines and truly understand the needs of emergency management and public health. This year, as many of us have been pulled in several different directions and we've worn many hats, and as a result, time seems to be extremely limited to not only manage our own responsibilities, let alone assist others. However, we do appreciate the individuals who do take the time to help as they understand the benefits of collaboration and partnerships like the recipient of this award. So for being a valuable stakeholder that makes the EM systems community stronger by being a resource to his peers and a source of fresh and candid feedback to our Juvare team, the second 2020 Helping Hand Award goes to, I'll do a little drum roll here, Ben Marin of the Sacramento County Department of Health Services. So congrats to Ben.
Hey,
So
Ben.
whether he's providing,
All right, Ben.
Done, sir.
I'm not sure if he's on, but whether he's providing feedback to improve the use of one of our newest products, which is EM Supply, or traveling to some of his neighboring counties in California to train his regional partners on the use of EM resource, Ben is always willing to assist and really was a natural choice to receive this award. So again, congratulations to Ben. We appreciate your continued support.
Awesome. And let's turn it over to the feds. Carol, VP for
Brad,
Client Success. I know this guy.
you know this guy. Well, anybody who's been around for a while will know this guy, our friend Henry out in Nevada. Henry Pazos has been a relentless advocate for WebEOC within the U.S. Department of Energy for it seems like eons. As a contractor for mission supported test services, emergency services and operations support since 2002, he currently oversees 2 emergency operations centers as well as the emergency facilities and equipment section for DOE's Nevada nuclear security site. Larger than Rhode Island and located about 65 miles northwest of Las Vegas, the NNSS is a preferred location for experiments supporting the National Nuclear Security Administration, nuclear weapons stockpile stewardship programs, national defense programs, and national security research, development, and training programs. In a variety of ways, Henry has encouraged expanded use of WebEOC throughout the NNSS and the broader DOE complex, encouraging sites to take maximum advantage of the full breadth of WebEOC's capabilities and helping them unlock new ways of using their systems. He has made himself available to multiple DOE sites to share his many years of WebEOC insight. He has also increased the level of WebEOC visibility within the DOE emergency management community, leading subcommittees and lending his voice to advance emergency management discussions. This ever-present willingness to share his expertise with others and his contributions to the evolution of DOE-wide emergency management policy conversations is the reason we recognize Henry today with the 2020 Helping Hand Award. Congratulations, Henry.
Go, man.
Henry.
That's awesome. Thank you, Carol. So next up are the 2020 Juvare Champions. This year, 3 clients are being awarded this high honor for their tireless fortitude, adaptability, and bold leadership. And to tell the first of these amazing stories, we have to preface it with a little bit of baseball walk-up music. So introducing Mr. Caleb Brown. Go get your groove on, man.
It's getting late at the call. Let me just loosen up a little bit. I sure wish we could all get together. It was always a joy to have the award ceremony in person with the band and having Brad host, calling clients up on stage to do silly things. So hopefully next year we can all get together. But today I'm really excited to announce one of the winners of the Juvare Champion. You know, starting Juvare implementation is really exciting time. You get to address some of those preparedness and response gaps that you have. And then ultimately you can sleep a little easier knowing that you got a platform in place that'll enhance your ability to manage and to safeguard. At times, these implementations can be a bit complex, a lot of processes, a lot of different stakeholders coming in and out with some insights. In 2019, we welcomed a new client to our Juvare community for corporations, focused on standardizing incident reports across state lines for a large-scale corporation, for ensuring proper audit and accountability towards internal decisions, having thorough documentation for authorities, and aligning a corporation to emergency management standards such as ICS is not a small task or undertaking. It was certainly thrilling. And as we were going, COVID-19 took place. And so we had to reassess a bit. So for this client, having the fortitude to properly identify the risk associated with COVID-19 to their staff and to those receiving services by this corporation, for the adaptability and agility to pivot focus, and the leadership to secure the support necessary to execute the vision, this is a true Juvare champion. So today we recognize an individual with nearly 40 years experience in both public and private correctional service, serving communities from correctional officer all the way to warden. Today, this individual holds a position as the Senior Director for Security Operations and Intelligence. It has been a pleasure to work with, to serve, and witness a champion in the Juvare corporate landscape. It gives me great honor to present the 2020 Juvare Champion Award to Don Stewart of Core Civic. Way to go, Don. We appreciate you. Keep it up.
Awesome job. Awesome job, Don. Caleb, thank you. Next up is a man who needs no introduction, but is listed in your program as the Client Success Manager Extraordinaire, Mr. Oliver.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Brad, for that lovely introduction, although I'm not sure that title is going to fit on my business card. First off, I have to say that I missed the open bar from last year's ceremony. It would seem that we really have to work hard to make up for that next year. So definitely looking forward to that. I'm honored to have one of my clients for the second year in a row be chosen for an award. That said, off the top of my head, I can think of dozens of clients who are truly, worthy of this award. We just have so many incredible clients that are true Juvare champions that it's almost unjust to, award them to only 3. But I believe the gentleman I'm going to announce has proven that he's gone above and beyond the call of duty. So just about 2 years ago, when I first arrived at Juvare, I was told about a client in my largest state who just happens to run the capital region of that state, and that the instance of WebEOC was not serving the needs of the stakeholders, which includes the capital and 90 other member governments and organizations, and that there were serious discussions about them getting rid of WebEOC. So I set out to reach out to them, and the gentleman I spoke to just happened to be the newly appointed Director of Homeland Security, who just happened to have taken the job a few months earlier. And I pleaded with him to allow my boss and I to come in for a meeting and state our case. Thankfully, he reluctantly agreed. We had our meeting, and he agreed to give us a shot at fixing the situation. After the meeting, he told me that he had security standing by because there was a better than 50% shot that the meeting was not going to go end well, and we'd be escorted out of the building. I'm kidding about the security part, but not the 50% part. Since that initial meeting, I believe we formed an exceptional partnership. He not only convinced his stakeholders to work with us to enable WebEOC to its fullest capabilities, but also invested the necessary resource to make it happen. Now, I'm not going to lie and say everything is perfect yet, but I believe that this gentleman would agree that where we are today is light years from where we were 2 years ago, and that his stakeholders are much happier and much more engaged with WebEOC than they were back then. So I look forward to working with this gentleman for the years to come, and I share in his vision to make their instance of WebEOC to showcase for the country and the rest of the emergency management world. So please let me introduce the 2020 Juvare Champion and my friend, Martin Ritchie, Director of Homeland Security for the Capital Area Council of Governments in the great state of Texas. Congratulations, Martin. So thank you again, Martin, for putting all your trust in us and all you've done for your stakeholders. And I look forward to continuing to build on your success. So congratulations again. And with that, I'd reintroduce Carol Apelt, our VP of Client Success, to introduce the next Juvare champion. Carol?
Hey, I'm
Ooh,
sorry.
and another proud Texan. Way to go, Texas.
Go Texas.
Thanks, Oliver. So my second awardee of the evening, I'm quite quite pleased to announce Al Kaminsky from the Architect of the Capitol. The Architect of the Capitol is the builder and the steward of the landmark buildings and grounds of our nation's capital, serving the U.S. Congress and Supreme Court, tracing its beginnings back to the laying of the Capitol cornerstone in 1793. They are responsible for the operations and care of more than 18 million square feet of historic building space, 570 acres of grounds, and thousands of monuments and works of art. Prior to the pandemic, the Capitol campus facilitated 30,000 occupants daily and more than 3 million visitors annually. For years, Al Kaminsky has tirelessly encouraged the embracing of WebEOC solutions to support the ever-changing landscape facing the Architect of the Capitol. Using the capabilities of WebEOC, its integration with ArcGIS, and Fusion, he ensures that the Architect of the Capitol's snow removal plans, a massive undertaking on the Hill, and the coordination of resources and reporting are communicated to colleagues at the U.S. House of Representatives, the Senate, and the U.S. Capitol Police, using a board he pioneered and continually evolves. And in the face of this year's pandemic, Al strengthened the Architect of the Capitol's ability to handle the new requirements COVID imposed by increasing the agency's WebEOC functionality even further to address previously unanticipated demands. Al recognizes the powerful tools available to his agency in its own existing systems, and he makes a point of ensuring the Architect of the Capitol and its partnering agencies on the Hill capitalizes on them. That's why Al Kaminsky is recognized this year as a 2020 Juvare Champion. Al, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Al.
Outstanding. Thank you, Carol. Well, as we start to wrap up, it's always a great honor to host the award ceremony. We love recognizing your sacrifice, your leadership, your creative use of our solutions. This really is the high point of the year for us. This next award, though, is the one that we probably hold in the highest of honors, and it is the William Ryan Honorary Award for Excellence. Bill was a career first responder from New York on Long Island and was one of the original responders on 9/11. After 9/11, he would go on to found a company dedicated to making EMS care more efficient. He brought that business into the Intermedics family about 10 years ago. That company was Fleet Eyes. Many of us at Juvare worked closely with Bill over the years and specifically recall his commitment and dedication to the causes he cared deeply about. He had a passion for excellence. Bill passed away 2 years ago from complications of the exposure that he probably had while responding at Ground Zero. So it's with his memory in mind that we've dedicated a memorial award for excellence. Here to present this year's recipient is Anne Marie Brown, Client Success Manager.
Thank you, Brad. You can hear me, correct?
Yes.
Good, thank you. Well, I am honored to award this award to a client that's fairly new to me. I just started with this particular client just in July, and I jumped right in with her, and we have been moving fast ever since. She's in charge of a very large state, and that particular state is Texas, so we have another Texas award here. And she is in charge of the hospital preparedness area, where she oversees several of their applications, including EM Resource. So when I started to work with her, one of the things that became very clear was her passion to make things as easy as possible for those that facilitate entering information and data into their system. So to help make that easier for those staff members across the state of Texas, she saw the need to help with the API that is one of our new applications that we do with EM Resource. And so with no further ado, the awardee for this honor is Dana Bernberg with the state. She is the state public health preparedness coordinator with the Texas Department of State Health Services. She has a wonderful team that we've been working with very closely on this project. It's been an honor, just a little bit of time that I've been working with her and with her staff. In particular, I want to add also Carmen Bryan, who works with her as well on this project. So I'm very pleased that they received this award. Thank you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So as we wrap up, we want to congratulate everyone on your accomplishments. You've proven once again that our clients are a community of battle-tested professionals. You are inspiring, and we are so glad that you joined us to celebrate these amazing people and these tough teams. We look forward to all that is hopeful for the remainder of the year and into 2021. We know that the year ahead will bring tough times, and we look forward to the greatness that you all will accomplish in the midst of those battles. And on behalf of the client success managers, leadership, and all of us here at Juvare, thank you. Have a great evening, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning.
Congrats, everyone.
Bye-bye.